Hi there, Ross from 2 Minute Tabletop back again with a new quick and dirty video guide. This time we're going to add a grid to a battle map. Usually you'll want to do this before you print a map. If you're using a virtual tabletop, then your virtual tabletop probably already has an inbuilt grid system, which I recommend looking up. But if you're printing a map out, obviously you want to print it out with a grid on it. So that's kind of the purpose of this guide. So I'm using this tool today. I'll leave a link in the description. It may or may not be the best tool on the internet, but it works well enough. Very easy to use, so that's what we're going to be using today. So we want to scroll down far enough until we get to this file input, and then we want to drop in our desired map. So for this one, we're going to pretend we're going to print the map at the end. So I'm going to use the 300 DPI version. And you can just drop that in there. You'll see that a form opens up here and also a preview. So what we want to do is set the grid scale. This is the most important property. And this should match the DPI of the input image. So this one is 300 DPI. If you're unsure what the DPI is, it's on recent maps, I've begun listing it in the file name right at the end here. If it's not there, it's probably in folder name, such as this folder's marked as 300 DPI. If it's not there, then the map is probably 72 or 70 DPI, depending on when I created it. It's a little bit confusing, I know, but I've been making maps now for something like 7 years, and I keep changing my system bit by bit. So that's just the unfortunate consequence, is that the DPI is kind of all over the place. But yeah, if you try those numbers, try 300, 150, 72, or 70, and just look at the preview, and one of those is bound to fit. So after that, I recommend default grid thickness, but you can play around with that if you like. And the grid color, you may notice this is completely opaque. You may not want that. This is hex color codes, right? So if we want a white grid, we want to use, this is 6 Fs in a row for white. If we want to use black grid, we can put 6 zeros in a row. And now the next 2 digits we add will define the opacity. Now this is also in hex code, so it's not from like 0 to 100 or anything like that. It's a bit more obtuse, but what I can recommend is just putting 55 on the end, and you can see that gives us a semi-transparent grid. So this is what a black grid looks like. A white grid would look like this. You can choose which one you prefer. And once the preview looks good, you can scroll down to the export options. I recommend PNG for lossless output, or JPEG if you want a smaller file size. You can look up the difference between these if you're interested, but those two work for me. And then just press the Save Image button, and you'll see that exports something like this. And we're back. My headset sometimes turns itself off in the middle of me speaking. Very annoying. But you can see here we have had the exported image with a nice semi-transparent grid, which is just what we would need for the poster printing tool if you've come to this video from there. But yeah, I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video, I suppose. Have fun.